Hi, I hope everything's going well with you today. A lady had been married 4 times. Her first husband was a banker, her second an actor, her third a minister, and the fourth an undertaker. When asked why the different ones, she said, "One for the money, two for the show, three to get ready, and four to go." A frontier madam was doing a land office business one night at her brothel, and it was so crowded that one of her girls was hard put to find a place to get horizontal. She and her customer finally decided that the roof of the brothel was as good a place as any, and up they went. But the roof was peaked, and love-making being the rather raucous exercise that it is, the lady and her lover rolled off the roof and fell to the sidewalk, locked in love's embrace. A drunk, ambling by, saw this and staggered to the door of the brothel. The madam answered the knock at the door. "Are you the madam of the house?" the drunk slurred. "Yes." "Well, your sign fell down." In a bar is a piano player with a monkey that goes around after each number collecting tips. However, one time, while the piano player is playing, the monkey jumps up on the bar, walks up to a customer, and squats over his drink, putting his testicles in the drink. The man is miffed, walks up to the piano player and says, "Do you know your monkey dipped his balls in my martini?" The piano player says, "No, man, but hum a few bars and I can probably pick it up." A doctor was hurriedly going down the hallway when a nurse came rushing after him, explaining that she needed his signature on a patient's chart. He reached into his pocket and was about to sign his name when he realized he was holding a rectal thermometer. "Damn," he says to his nurse, "some asshole has got my favorite pen." During the winter of 1926, Thelma Goldstein from Chicago treated herself to her first real vacation in Florida. Being unfamiliar with the area, she wandered into a restricted hotel in North Miami. "Excuse me," she said to the manager, "my name is Mrs. Goldstein, and I'd like a small room for 2 weeks." "I'm awfully sorry," he replied, "but all our rooms are filled." Just as he said that, a man came out and checked out. "What luck!" said Mrs. Goldstein. "Now there's a room." "Not so fast, madam. I'm afraid that this hotel is restricted. No Jews allowed." "Jewish? Who's Jewish? I happen to be Catholic." "I find that hard to believe. Let me ask you, who was the Son of God?" "Jesus, son of Mary." "Where was he born?" "In a stable." "And why was he born in a stable?" "Because a schmuck like you wouldn't let a Jew rent a room in his hotel." A therapist asks his patient how his visit to his mother went. The patient says, "It did not go well at all. I made a terrible Freudian slip." "Really?" says the therapist. "What did you say?" "What I meant to say was, 'Please pass the salt.' But what I said was, 'You bitch, you ruined my life.'" One day Bill complained to his friend that his elbow really hurt. His friend suggested that he visit a Swami who lived in a nearby cave. Simply leave a sample of urine outside the cave, and he will meditate on it, miraculously diagnose your problem, and tell you what you can do about it. It only costs $10. Bill figured he had little to lose, so he filled a jar with urine and left it outside the cave with a $10 bill. The next day, when he came back, there was a note waiting for him that said, "You have tennis elbow. Soak your arm in warm water, avoid heavy lifting. It will be better in 2 weeks." Later that evening, Bill started to think that the Swami's miracle was a put-up job by his friend, who could have written the note and left it outside the cave himself. So Bill decided to get back at his friend. He mixed together some tap water, a yard sample from his dog, and urine samples from his wife and son. To top it off, he included another bodily fluid of his own and left the concoction outside the cave with $10. He then called his friend and told him that he was having some other health problems and that he had left another sample for the Swami. The next day he returned to the cave and found another note that said, "Your tap water is too hard. Get a water softener. Your dog has worms. Get him vitamins. Your son is hooked on cocaine. Get him into rehab. Your wife is pregnant with 2 girls. They aren't yours. Get a lawyer. And if you don't stop playing with yourself, your tennis elbow will never get better." Goodbye.